From FXCOINZ, this is Christopher Lewis taking a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. The backdrop for cryptocurrency and pretty much everything else right now revolves around tariffs and the concerns as to where we go next. The Supreme Court in the United States struck down those tariffs only to see the president go through another route and start levying tariffs. So, really, at the end of the day, there doesn't seem to be any relief for that. At this point, when you look at the risk appetite around the world, it is tentative at best. And when you start talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're talking about way out on the risk appetite spectrum. After all, there's no real world use case for any crypto at the moment, not on any type of scale at least. So this is all about what might happen in 20 years, and therefore it's a risky investment. With that being said, let's take a look at some charts here. The Bitcoin chart looks horrific, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If Bitcoin falls through the $60,000 level, it could really unravel, perhaps down to $55,000. Then after that, we could be talking about $38,000. It's that bad right now. The best case scenario is to go sideways and defend $60,000. But quite frankly, you would need to see weeks, if not months, of sideways action to get people taking the risk in this market going forward, because it's a different market than it was the last couple of crypto winters. There are institutions involved, and institutions do not chase assets that drop 20% a month. And that's essentially what we've seen here, with the exception of a little bit of quiet trading around the holidays. Ultimately, it's not a market that is to be messed around with right now. And unfortunately for the rest of crypto, if Bitcoin doesn't do well, nobody else does. Watch this $60,000 level. We break down below there. You'll see a lot of ugly things happening in other assets. Speaking of ugly things happening in other assets, we now have Ethereum threatening $1,800, and there is nothing on this chart that suggests that it's going to hold. Quite frankly, I think we're going to $1,500 pretty quickly, and why not? If Bitcoin breaks down, nobody's going to want Ethereum either. We just don't have that killer must-have application or ecosystem that cryptocurrency desperately needs to make it relevant. Ethereum is also an institutionally held asset, although on a much smaller scale. And they, of course, won't be throwing millions of dollars into something that just can't hold its own in the markets. I think we are looking at a protracted crypto winter. However, if we were to turn around and take out the $2,250 level to the upside, that could be the beginning of something pretty special in Ethereum. But I just don't see that right now. I don't see the catalyst. And if traditional assets are doing so-so at the moment, Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to truly struggle.